Welcome back to Tyler's Retro Reviews with my second of 3 Halloween Havoc reviews. Well, second of 4, actually, of my Halloween Havoc reviews. And we're going to do Halloween Havoc 1993. It was a better show than 92. And what they did with the spin the wheel make the deal stipulation with Vader and Cactus Jack in the main event, way better. I mean, way fucking better. However, this show is not one of their... It's actually one of their better WCW pay-per-views. But there's one gripe I had with the matches. Mainly, the result of the endings of the matches. Some of them. Anyways, let's get on to it. October 24th at the Lakefront Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, Louisiana. That's the same city that hosted 2 WrestleManias in the Superdome. One of them I actually did this year, WrestleMania 34. Fun fact. Anyways, before I get to the matches of the show, the intro to this show was interesting. It has Tony Schiavone and some random kids. I think there's actual 4 kids. I think. I don't know. But yeah, that was a interesting / weird intro to the pay-per-view instead of talking about, the matches of the show. And you can tell by the sound of this, before I actually talk about the matches, also, a little pause before the matches. This was also around the time that WCW was starting doing their TV tapings at Disney, which caused some a little controversy with the NWA because one of their championships was changing hands without their permission. And after September, the NWA and WCW split apart. Kind of reminds me of 2007 when TNA and the NWA split apart. And as a result of that, we got the introduction of the TNA World and Tag titles as a result of that in 2007. I have to point that out here because yeah. I know James from We Are Pro Wrestling talked about that. However, there's one controversy about we get to one of the matches. Not particularly what went down in the match, but let's get on to it. We start with a random 6-man tag team match of Ice Train Charlie Norris, who is a Native American. Is this their answer to Tatanka in the WWF at this time? Spoiler alert. Yes. And the Shockmaster. Oh God, I have to talk about this because we all know the meme of the Shockmaster falling on his fucking face at that Ric Flair segment, or that Ric Flair, what is it, Flair for the Gold? Oh my God, that August Clash of the Champions. I think this was the precursor to Titus O'Neil slipping under the ring 25 years later. Regardless, I don't know why I had to laugh, but yeah. They defeat Harlem Heat of Booker T and Stevie Ray and the Equalizer. It was whatever of a 6-man tag match. You could tell Booker T and Stevie Ray, they were not called Booker T and Stevie Ray at this point yet, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to call them by what they are in WCW and later on. Booker T and Stevie Ray, okay? It was an alright 6-man tag match. It was actually better than the one from last year's Halloween Havoc. A 6 out of 10. It was okay. Anyways, just point that out there. Paul Order defeats Ricky Steamboat by a countout. Great match. The finish killed it for me. This is the problem of this pay-per-view. Terrible finishes. And this was the first of many terrible finishes. Except for two matches. So this guy, the assassin, I don't know who the hell he is, puts something in his mask and headbutts Ricky Steamboat from behind, and that causes the countout. Like, come on, that's the dumbest way to lose. And by the way, they were not champions at this time. Why do a match has a countout like this? Oh yeah, that's right, this is the early 90s. 7.5 out of 10. I want to give it an 8, but that countout finish hurt it for me. Next match is for the WCW World Television Championship. This match ends in a time limit draw. Lord Steven Regal and the British Davey Boy Smith, aka the British Bulldog, ends in a double countout. A time limit draw. Not double countout, Jesus Christ. A time limit draw. I mean, I understand because that's television, but this is a pay-per-view. And he ran into a fucking time limit draw. Also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this was one of the first appearances of Michael Buffer. Now, he will be the ring announcer for the main events of WCW periods at Royal Rumble 2008. Also, fun, go back to there. But, like the first match, great match, but I hated the end of the match. A time limit draw. It was a 15-minute time limit draw. Regardless, 7 out of 10. You may know Steven Regal as William Regal. You know, the slayer of War Games and punching people in the breast. You know. Anyways. Next match is for the WCW United States Championship. Dustin Rhodes defeats Steve Austin to retain the United States Championship. Regal, by the way, was the television championship at the last match. This match for the United States title, it was a good match. However, the finish killed it. You're going to see a theme on this pay-per-view. The finishes. So the finish of this match, Austin grabbed the ropes. Nick Patrick counts 1, 2, 3, but he saw Austin's feet on the rope, so the match restarts. Dustin Rhodes rolls up Steve Austin. 1, 2, 3, and Austin sure was up afterwards, but they still count the 3 count. So yeah, you got a dusty finish in this match. Kind of thing to talk about. 3 years later, these two will be in different, roles 3 years later in the WWF. Austin was the top guy feuding with Bret Hart. Dustin Rhodes was Gold Dust. And, yeah. 6.5. I want to give it higher, but that stupid ending killed it. But anyways, now I'll save the spin the wheel, make the deal for the main event like I did in my last review, so hold on what the stipulation was. Anyways. Okay, next up is for the WCW World Tag Team Championships. The Nasty Boys defeat Marcus Alexander Bagwell, aka Buff Bagwell, and Too Cold Scorpio to win back the WCW tag titles because the day before this was the Nasty Boys dropped the tag titles and they won them back. Yeah. This finish was not shitty, I believe it was Sags who hit Scorpio with his boot, and they won the tag titles back. Okay, that's a better creative finish than fucking time limit draws and dusty finishes and countouts. Okay, this is a finish I can forgive. Okay, this match was all right, a 5.5 out of 10. Anyways, Sting defeats Sid Vicious. This was way better than the match at Road Wild 1999. But it was all not good, though. But it was still a better match than the match at Road Wild 99. This was supposed to be, by like 4.5 out of 10, I give it. This was supposed to be the way to get Sid as a babyface. However, I'm just gonna talk about this right now, because, like I said before, I'm gonna redo Starrcade '98 for December, and the 2 Raw and SmackDown exclusive periods also from December of 2016. I will talk about Starrcade '93 also, but I want to get this out of the way. Sid's run in WCW was dead after a little scissor fight with Arn Anderson. I'm not going into the full details because I'll be here all fucking night. So yeah. I mean, Sid was fired from WCW after the scissors fight incident with Arn Anderson. That's all I have to say. Anyways. Next match is for the WCW International World Heavyweight Championship. It's the big gold belt, basically. Like I said before, the NWA was angry about their changes being changed hands during tapings. With Ric Flair and Rood being the champions during those tapings. And like I said before, they split apart. Because Rood defeated Ric Flair at the prior pay-per-view, Fall Brawl 93. They call this the WCW International World Heavyweight Championship. And this led to the following year, they unified with the other WCW Championship. With Terry Taylor as the special guest referee. Rood defeats Ric Flair by disqualification to retain the International World title. However, like I said before, the fucking finish. Good match. Terrible finish. I mean, Rood got those weird brass knucks that are not brass knucks. Ric Flair hits him with them. Terry's hair goes to count. By the way, when I saw him, I thought he was like a taller version of Charles Robinson. I don't know why, but yeah. He goes to count 1, 2, but I think the other referee fucked his cue up. I think it was Randy Anderson, right? Yeah. He fucked his cue up. He thought he saw Ric Flair hit Rood with that weapon. I don't know what the fuck you call it. And disqualifies Ric Flair like that. If it was a fucked up cue, okay? But the finish killed it. But great match, good match, but the finish killed it. To a 6.5 out of 10. I was like, oh my god, these finishes are ruining the... Okay, now let's get to the spin the wheel, make the deal. So Vader came out with Harley Race. They spin the wheel, and it lands on a Texas Death Match, aka it's a last minute standing match. By the way, hell of a way better stipulation than Cole Miner's glove from the prior year's Halloween Havoc. Now this was a Texas Death Match. However, Vader's WCW Championship was not on the line this match because it's an unsanctioned. So, there's that. So, we get this. The Texas Deathmatch main event. Vader defeats Cactus Jack. This was a fucking awesome main event. What is it? A fucking hardcore type match. They were bleeding, but the finish killed it. again. Because Harley Race grabbed a fucking stun gun and zapped Cactus Jack from behind in the leg to cause him to go down. I didn't know they started using the stun gun until 98 with Starrcade 98. Wait till I ranted on that. I mention it a lot. So I guess this was the first instance of a stun gun used in WCW. I mean, if Vader should have won this cleanly, but then again, this finish killed it for me. I give it an 8 out of 10. This is the best match of the night, but that fucking ending ruined it. So, this was a great show with terrible finishes, okay? I mean, goddamn, these finishes were stupid. I give the show overall a 6.8 out of 10. I wanted to give it a higher grade, but the finishes killed it for me. But anyways, next week will be Halloween Havoc 1997, a redo. And then the week after that will be Halloween Havoc 1998. Will be another redo with Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page. And that disastrous Hogan and Ultimate Warrior match, but regardless. And also 97 had Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. And it also has Age in the Cage also. That's next week, by the way. Like this, comment, and subscribe to both my channels. And tomorrow I'll do my SmackDown review. And Saturday I'll do Open Season Scared Silly. Continuing my Halloween theme reviews. Almost close to the Halloween month. So yeah, like this, comment, and subscribe to both my channels. And there, bye.